Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the LGBTQ Virtual College Fair sponsored by the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling and powered by StriveScan. Each school in attendance today has taken an active step in building their LGBTQ plus communities, and by participating in this fair, they have acknowledged wanting LGBTQ plus students in their greater communities. Additionally, we have utilized the Campus Pride Index to showcase an objective rating as to where the policies of each institution fall in terms of LGBTQ plus friendliness. If a school participating today has a Campus Pride Index score, you'll find the score listed next to their name at strivescan.com/LGBTQ. Pride Index is always a good place to start with your search, but it should not be the only place you look. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the presenters cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that's happening, so be sure to sign up for additional ones. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/LGBTQ. Now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters, and we'll get started this evening with Butler University.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Lindsay Proud, and I'm the Assistant Director for International Admission at Butler University. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see a few slides that I have today. All right, so hopefully you can see that. I just wanted to, oops, sorry, having some, there we go. I'm going to present. Okay, so again, I'm from Butler University, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. Butler is a private, non-religiously affiliated, mid-size institution located in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Midwest part of the US. We have just under 4,700 undergraduate students and around 500 graduate students. So we really do focus on that undergraduate teaching and learning experience here at Butler. We are located in the city limits of Indianapolis, but we are located about 5 miles from downtown Indianapolis. So it is really easy and accessible to navigate the city, but we are not going to be right down in the hustle and bustle of the city of Indianapolis. We're known for providing small classes and opportunities to engage directly with professors and real-world experiences through internships, research with faculty mentors, performances, and community engagement. Generally speaking, 75% of our students will engage in at least one internship during their 4 years, and sometimes often more than one. The student population at Butler has changed quite a bit over the past 10 years. 55% of our students actually come from out of the state of Indiana, and we have students from 48 of the 50 states in the US and about 17 countries around the world. Butler does have an early action deadline of November 1st and a regular decision deadline of February 1st. Just to kind of give you an idea of what our middle 50% range for admission looks like, we do use a weighted GPA. So if that means something at your high school, that is the GPA we'll use for admission and scholarship purposes. It ranges from about a 3.6 to a 4.2. And if you do choose to submit test scores, ACT a 24 to a 30 or SAT an 1150 to an 1130. We are test optional. We moved that way this past year, and we will continue in the future. Butler was founded as a liberal arts institution and still serves that educational foundation today. Our average class size is about 22 with an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So classrooms will be highly discussion-based and participatory in nature. We want you to have really close relationships with your peers and your faculty members as well. As you can see on this screen, we have about 6 academic colleges that focus on communication, education, liberal arts and sciences, pharmacy and health sciences, the visual and the performing arts, and then business as well. For students who are unsure what to study, we do have an exploratory studies program, which would allow you to have some time to figure out where you best fit academically and where you see yourself being the most successful on campus. We do have a core curriculum that kind of ties into that liberal arts foundation. I always tell students they don't like to think of it as a list of classes that everyone has to take to graduate. Think of it more as broad categories with a lot of flexibility and free choice to fulfill those categories. We do have some of those, speaking to that core curriculum, some of it is going to be academic and in the classroom, but some of it's going to be a little bit different and allow you to kind of get out of your comfort zone and maybe try something you might not normally do. Things like a cultural component where you are required to attend 8 events on campus, and a community component where you do some volunteer work in the city of Indianapolis. So something that students love about our city is that it's just the accessibility to get downtown and take advantage for those internships and also fun cultural things and yummy restaurants. But our students actually do study abroad as well. And so 40% of our students will study abroad in some form or fashion over the course of their 4 years. We have about 200 different programs in 60 countries throughout the world. All of these hands-on experiences add up to Butler students being really successful after they graduate. So we do have a 98% placement rate within 6 months of graduation. So the breakdown is that about 76% of students are employed in a job that's related to their major here at Butler, about 22% end up in graduate school, and about 2% are still looking. So my final slide here, I'm going to touch on a couple of things that we think are pretty important to the Butler experience. The big colorful circle in the center of that slide is going to be our BU Be Well framework, which is a foundation to hopefully for a transformative and holistic Butler experience. We kind of took an inventory of what we thought was really important for students to touch on to have that really positive and holistic experience on campus. And we came up with 8 dimensions or pillars that we thought were crucial to aid in that experience. And so you can see those in the colorful wheel there. Any activity that we host on campus will actually have this wheel on it, and it will pop out whatever pillar corresponds to that particular activity. So it just really makes you mindful of what you're participating in, but also holds us as a university, faculty, and staff for what we're offering students. Talk a little bit about just living on campus. We are a residential campus, so we do have a 3-year housing requirement. Over the past 5 years, we have built 2 new residence halls, one for first-year students called Irvington House, and one for sophomores with a focus on suite-style living. So it's going to be typically double rooms with private bathrooms attached for those first-year students. We did partner with Bon Appetit as our dining vendor last year, so we're excited about that, and we specialize in sustainability and working with local farmers in the Indianapolis and Midwest community. We do have 130 different clubs and student organizations and active Greek life with about 35% of students participating in that. And we are Division I athletics with 20 different D1 sports. Students do have access to free tickets for all of those sporting events. And if you are a member of the Dog Pound, our official student section, you do get special access to men's basketball games as well. Something I think all of our schools here today have in common is school pride and that great school spirit. And at Butler, this is represented through our Butler Way and community of care. So we really do want students to feel supported and welcome on our campus, and hope that that transforms through their experience. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you so much. Our next presentation this afternoon comes to us from Bloomfield College.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Julia Del Bagno, and I am the Associate Director of Admission here at Bloomfield. I'm going to talk to you really quickly just about Bloomfield in general, and then I'm going to turn it over to 2 of our students on campus who are involved in our Show Your Colors Club, which is our pride organization on campus, of which I am the advisor. So just so you know a little bit about Bloomfield, we're located in New Jersey, northern New Jersey, between Montclair and Newark is kind of how I like to place us. We're #1 in the state for moving students forward in socioeconomic status. We only have about 1,600 students here at Bloomfield, so you're going to have those small class sizes, a lot of individualized attention. You're going to get to know your professors are going to get to know you. There's a 14-to-1 student faculty ratio, and our average class size is only 15 students. We have over 60 different majors that are broken up into different academic divisions, which include things like business, which covers the majors like finance and economics and management, computer science. We have a creative arts and technology division, which covers our game design, which we're #1 in the state for our game programming. We have music technology and animation within that as well. We do have an education program for anybody wishing to become a teacher. Our humanities covers things like media communication and English. We have natural science and mathematics for anybody that wants to get into those, pre-pharmacy, pre-med kind of programs. We have one of the best nursing programs in the state of New Jersey, and we have a social and behavioral sciences division that covers things like criminal justice, sociology, psychology, and international relations. We have over 30 different active clubs and organizations on campus, including that Show Your Colors Club, which is the LGBTQ plus ally club. We also have are part of NCAA Division II athletics. We're part of the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference. And those are the sports that we offer, including esports on campus. And we have a bunch of different resources to make sure that our students can successfully transition to Bloomfield. We are rolling admissions. We don't require the SAT or the ACT. We're just looking for your high school transcript this year due to COVID. We've tried to streamline the process. Generally, we're looking for a 2.5 or higher GPA. Over 96% of our students receive financial aid. We have one of the lowest tuition rates for any four-year private colleges in New Jersey, and we're committed to affordability. And I'm going to turn it over now to Marvin Delgado, who is part of our LGBTQ club. Show your colors here on campus. Marvin?
Yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Marvin. I am a junior graphic design and marketing major here at the college and the president of our LGBTQ plus club on campus. And now I will just hand it over to Tyrone so he can do more of the explaining of what we do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tyrone Fernandez, and I'm a current senior biology major, double minoring in chemistry and mathematics at Bloomfield College, and I serve as the vice president of Show Your Colors. So within our organization ourselves, we've conducted a plethora of activities and hosted a plethora of events on campus itself. We've advocated for inclusive housing for LGBTQ individuals so that they can have a safe space where they may be able to express themselves fully and be well accommodated and as comfortable as they can be. We've also advocated to create a safe space for students where they can have meetings and socialize with each other and to basically be able to just enjoy themselves. It's a judgment-free zone, so students are able to come in, they're able to relax, and they're able to just discuss about any alarming issues that they may be facing within the week themselves. And we may also provide like feedback on how to resolve those issues. During our LGBTQ History Month, we also hosted a plethora of events where we had representatives from other cities such as this township of Bloomfield and also the Hudson County Pride Center come into our events, and they were able to provide various services to the students there, and they were able to also network, and students were able to enjoy themselves as a whole, and also they were able to just be as expressive as they were able to be. And yeah, that's it.
So thank you to Tyrone and Marvin. Appreciate you guys. Can't wait to see you back on campus. I'm going to be sticking around in case you have any questions. I've also put all our contact information in the chat. So, you know, students are your best resource. So if you have any questions about what it's like to be a student or to be an LGBTQ plus student here on campus, please reach out to us. We're happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you all as well. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from Simmons University.
Hi everyone, I'm going to share my screen and get started. But hi, my name is Shalana Smart, or Shay, and I use she, her pronouns. Simmons University is a small liberal arts women-centered institution right in the city of Boston. So we're right in the Fenway Longwood medical area. So it's a perfect location in my opinion. But what women-centered means is that we were founded as a women's college, but we're also inclusive to trans and non-binary students. So if you do identify as trans or non-binary, you are still welcome to apply and attend Simmons. We are small, as I mentioned. We have about 1,800 undergraduate students with over 60 majors and minors and over 70 clubs and organizations. So we're small, but we're mighty, and I love it there. We are in Boston, as I mentioned, and one of the benefits of an education at Simmons is that you have access to so much. You have access to the city, literally right outside of our gates. So for internships, research, just socialization, and networking opportunities, everything is really accessible to you. One of the benefits of Simmons is that we are a member of this consortium called the Colleges of the Fenway, which include 4 other institutions where you can take classes, join clubs, organizations, and really just participate in their culture and their activities. And that's at no extra cost to you. So yes, we are a small institution at about 1,800 undergraduate students, but within the Colleges of the Fenway, there are 12,000 students. So you get that small experience where I think it matters the most in the classroom. You get to know your professors and they get to know you, but on a social level, you have access to so many more people, which I think is a great opportunity for our students. And as I mentioned, we have a bunch of different majors and minors. Some that we're most popularly known for is nursing, physical therapy. We have a 3+3 doctor in physical therapy program. Both of those programs are direct to entry. If you're interested in that, you can always apply. And if you have any questions, definitely let me know. We also have a bunch of other accelerated programs, including that can allow you to get a master's in public policy, social work, or library and information science. So if you're interested in any of those accelerated programs, I'm getting 2 degrees for one in 4 years, definitely let me know and I can support you through that process. And then one big part of our identity is, yes, we are a liberal arts institution, but professional preparation is extremely important to us. It has been a part of our culture since its birth. So all of our students participate in some sort of real world learning, whether that's research and internship and independent study. For nursing students and physical therapy students, it's clinicals. For social work students, it's field work. But we want our students to really get out in the field and do the work, learn outside of the classroom and as well as inside of the classroom. And then, as I mentioned, we are a women-centered institution, and I think there are many benefits to attending a women-centered institution. Essentially, you're more likely to be a leader. You're more likely to be confident and really develop your confidence. And that has a lot to do with being a part of a space that you don't have to think about as my gender identity or reason why I don't have this opportunity, because that is not the reason. So you're allowed to just flourish. And I think it's an amazing place to be. I'm 100% proprietor of women-centered education. So if you're nervous about that, always let me know and I guarantee I can talk you into it. And that is all I have. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to email me. I'll put my information in the chat.
Thank you so much. And our next presentation this afternoon comes to us from the University of Alabama.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Paul. I am the regional recruiter for Central New Jersey for the University of Alabama. I'm just going to share my screen real quick. So I work specifically for the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. I always made that distinction because there are 2 other campuses, one in Huntsville and one in Birmingham. But for the admissions process, the campuses are not together. So this year we are going to be adding ourselves to the Common App for 2022 admissions. If you're applying on the Common App, you do want to specify Tuscaloosa so that application goes to the right campus. Tuscaloosa is a small to medium-sized city. It is really an ideal quintessential college city. The population is a little over 200,000, and it's a really great place for students to enjoy Southern weather and also Southern hospitality. On campus, we are actually at 38,000 total enrollment, and then our undergraduate enrollment is a little over 33,000. With that, approximately 55% of our undergraduates come from out of state. You can see below that New Jersey is our 8th largest out of state population. So it's a really ideal environment for out of state students. We have students coming from all 50 states. We also have 76 countries represented internationally. So it is a very dynamic campus in Tuscaloosa. For academic interest, we have 70 undergraduate degrees. And then when you include the minors and concentrations, you're looking at about 200 degree possibilities. We are also an R1 research university. What that means is we have the highest activity level of collegiate research on our campus. So we do have undergraduate research opportunities. This is a great way for you to form professional partnerships with your faculty. And even if you're not planning on going into a research field, we recommend doing research because it really helps students with creativity and also with critical thinking skills. The campus is a very active, dynamic environment. We have over 600 student organizations on campus, including multiple LGBTQ organizations. If you're interested in athletics, we are Division I. If you are not playing Division I athletics, you also have opportunities to compete with our club sports programs. Those are formal teams that will practice and compete against other universities. We also have intramural programs, which are pickup leagues, both for students versus students. And a lot of our faculty will also participate in those leagues. So it's a great opportunity to form friendships with your faculty outside of the classroom. We are also the largest undergraduate population for Greek life. So if you're interested in Greek life, it's a great environment. It is only 30% of our students participating. So 70% of our students don't participate in Greek life. So it is not a prerequisite to be at the University of Alabama. For housing, we guarantee and require all first-year students to live on campus. We have 3 style residence halls. Those include apartment style, suite style, traditional style, which is a shared room and then shared bathroom by floor. And then we also have double occupancy, which is a shared room. And then you and your roommate will have your own bathroom. After first year, the majority of our students will live off campus in Tuscaloosa. It is very inexpensive to live in Tuscaloosa, so a lot of our upper class students will take advantage of those savings that are offered there. You do have options to live on campus as well. We do have an application process if you decide you want to live in upperclassmen on campus housing. These are some of our more notable alumni, or legends as we call them in Tuscaloosa, who have graduated from the university. For professional development, the University of Alabama was named last year to be the #2 university in the country for internship opportunities by the Princeton Review. And we are also the #1 SE Conference university for internships. So there's tons of professional development. And really from the beginning, you're going to be encouraged to engage both in the classroom and out of the classroom. Also, all of our alumni will receive lifetime access to career services after graduation. So once you graduate, once you become a legend, if you're ever changing jobs or looking for new career opportunities, you're always going to be able to rely on the same resources you did while you were an undergraduate. For our application this year, like I mentioned, we're going to be on the Common App. We're also going to have our application through the ua.edu website. We have not made a final decision about being test optional for 2020 admissions, but we will have that announcement by the time the application opens, which is in July. Even if we are test optional, we are still going to have our automatic scholarships. These are the requirements. You would have to have the GPA and the test score to qualify for those scholarships. Also, after students are accepted, we do have competitive scholarships available. Students will be able to apply for those when they're accepted. The priority deadline to apply for those scholarships is January 15th. So I recommend applying early enough so you'll have time to get accepted and then complete your application for those competitive scholarships. This is all my information. So please reach out if you have any questions or would like to get some more information about the university or the application process. And of course, as we say in Tuscaloosa, roll tide. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Chris. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from Cedar Crest College.
Good evening, everyone. Let me just share my screen with you all. All right, so my name is Lauren Mann. I'm an admissions counselor from Cedar Crest College. Cedar Crest is located in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We are a small private liberal arts college for women. We have about 1,500 undergraduate students, a 9-to-1 student-faculty ratio, and about 40% diversity on our campus. This is a list of all of our academic majors and minors. Definitely nursing, art therapy, education, criminal justice, and forensic science are some of our most popular majors of interest. We also have a list of academic minors as well. So our students are very academically focused, many of them choosing to double major or major and minor in something as well. We have a 4-year guarantee at Cedar Crest, meaning that we are promising our students will graduate within 4 years. Our students work so closely with the faculty and staff on campus that they can guarantee from the beginning, from their very first year, that they will graduate in 4 years. We understand college is expensive, so we don't want to keep our students any longer than we have to. So we are part of the LVAC system. What the LVAC system is a consortium in the Lehigh Valley. So Cedar Crest, Lehigh, Muhlenberg, Moravian, and Lafayette. We're all within a half-hour radius of each other. So our students can go to any of the events at those other schools. They also are eligible for tuition exchange, so they can take courses at any of those other colleges or universities as well. So it's very much a college area. At Cedar Crest, we also have a guaranteed study abroad experience. During the student's sophomore year, they will get to go abroad for free. It's a 100% fully funded trip. The only expense the student would have to be paying for out of pocket would be their passport if they don't already have one. The trip is to a different location each year, so it's something that students really look forward to and they get very excited about. These are some images from previous trips. I know London and Greece were some of our most popular trips from the students. You get to go with your entire class. There's also faculty and staff there to support you. So it's a wonderful learning opportunity. It's a leadership experience, but you're also there to have fun and be fully immersed in the culture. We guarantee student employment on campus. About 30% of our students do hold a job on our campus, whether that's a leadership position or just a regular job on our campus. We'd like to offer those opportunities to our students, and you do not have to qualify for federal work study to work on our campus. We are Division III athletics, so if you are interested in sports at all, you can be an athlete at Cedar Crest. It's a really great balance because you're always going to be a student first and an athlete second. We have over 50 clubs and organizations on our campus. Clubs and organizations are a wonderful way for you to meet students with similar interests, maybe students from different parts of the college community, and kind of bond with them and make additional friends. So for our mission from the CDI, which is the Center for Diversity and Equity and Inclusion, Cedar Crest, provides different opportunities for our students. We have advocates for our students, and we're a very inclusive community to begin with. Being an all-women's college, there's kind of no stereotyping amongst genders, and everyone feels very accepted from the moment they begin at Cedar Crest. So this is our diversity statement, but I like to point out that Cedar Crest College values difference in diverse, inclusive, and equitable learning environments. We embrace an inclusive community. It's something that we're very proud of. Whether you're walking into the dining hall or just walking across campus, everybody's friendly, everybody's saying hi to each other. We kind of are a big family atmosphere on our campus because we're so small. So there's different opportunities for the LGBTQ+ community, the transgender admissions policy. You can change your name, whether that's housing and restrooms being inclusive, gender neutral restrooms, gender neutral housing, different things like that. We're really here to support our students and make them feel as comfortable as possible while they're attending Cedar Crest. We do have different LGBTQ+ clubs and organizations on our campus as well. Whether that be the Diversity Council, groups and different things like that, really, allowing our students to kind of explore different opportunities, meet students out there who have similar interests, and be supportive of other students on our campus. Some events and holidays that we celebrate at Cedar Crest. So there's the LVAG LGBTQ Student Leadership Conference, which our students attend. We have a National Coming Out Day that we celebrate, Transgender Day of Remembrance, as well as a non-binary day and lots of other events. Those are just a list of some of the most popular ones on our campus, but our students are always very much encouraged to attend these events, see what these events entail, and be very supportive of other students attending those events. So we do have these different merit scholarships here at Cedar Crest. So if you are applying, every single student that is accepted is given at least the $17,000 fellow scholarship. We know that college is very expensive, so we'd like to make Cedar Crest an affordable opportunity. And for our top achieving, high performing students, we're offering up to that $22,000 merit scholarship. You're also being automatically enrolled into our honors program if you're qualifying for that scholarship, and a lot of other opportunities, as well as direct admit into our master's program. For our application process, if any of you are still looking for fall 2021, we are rolling admissions, so we're still accepting applications. And for the underclassmen, when you're applying in August, we're looking for at least a 3.0 GPA. You can apply online via Cedar Crest website or through the common application. We request your high school transcript, a personal essay or a graded paper, and then as well as one letter of recommendation, but you can submit up to 3. And then test scores are optional. If you would like to get them, you absolutely can, and we will look at them, but they are not a requirement for our application. And this is my information if anyone has any additional questions, but thank you.
Thanks so much, Lauren. Our final presentation before we transition to Q&A comes to us this afternoon from Lehigh University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle Schlau. I'm an Assistant Director of Admissions here at Lehigh. I'm going to share my screen quickly just so you can see what I'm about to talk about. Perfect. Hopefully y'all can see that. Again, my name is Danielle Schlau. I work at Lehigh University. Lehigh University is located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We're about 2 hours from New York City, 1 hour from Philadelphia. We are a private institution and we're medium sized. So what that means is that we have just over 5,000 undergraduate students here at Lehigh. We have just under 2,000 graduate students as well. But we are one of the top 50 schools in the nation, as well as one of the top 50 research institutions in the nation. We have 4 undergraduate colleges at Lehigh. We have our College of Arts and Sciences, our PC Rawson College of Engineering and Applied Sciences, our College of Business, and our brand new College of Health that started this year. We have an emphasis on interdisciplinary studies at Lehigh. So we have over 200 different majors on our campus. Some of our top majors are really anything in engineering. It's what we're known for. We also have our top majors in arts and sciences, which is biology, neuroscience, computer science, and international relations. And then in the College of Business is finance and accounting. We are the second school in the nation to have a population health major for undergraduate students. So what that is, it's a step before public health. You're doing more data analytics and data analysis and research into population health. So looking at the viruses or like a pandemic. That is what all of our population health students are doing right now. We do have 2 key things I do want to briefly talk about that I think set us apart in terms of entrepreneurship. We have our Baker Institute, which is an entrepreneurship, creativity, and innovation center. It is a premier organization for the university that's dedicated to the advancement of entrepreneurial education for the entire university community, not just students. And they have a variety of programs that they have that students can be involved in, from Eureka Pitch Night to Lehigh in the Silicon Valley to the Hatchery, which again is another entrepreneurship center that we have on our campus. We also have a program and a facility in San Francisco. We call it Lehigh at NASDAQ. It's to develop global entrepreneur leaders for us. So we want to inspire students to lead with a purpose, to think globally and creatively problem solve. But I am going to refer you to our normal information session where we give a lot more information about what Lehigh has to offer. If you are thinking of applying for admissions, we do have 3 specific deadlines. We have early decision 1, which that application is due November 1st. Early decision 2 and regular decision, those applications are due January 1st. We are unsure if we're going to be remaining test optional for the class for the fall of 2022. Definitely follow up with your admissions counselor. You can find us all on our website. But if we don't go test optional, typically we look for the middle 50%, which is about a 1350 to a 1480 SAT and about a 31 to a 34 ACT. But I do kind of want to switch gears to talk about our LGBTQ community here at Lehigh. So on the Campus Pride Index, we are rated a 5 out of 5 rating, star rating. We were rated with the best of the best top 30 for the campus index, as well as being ranked number 7 as an LGBTQ plus friendly college in 2020 from the college consensus. So it's really big for us. We have a lot that we do for our students on our campus, not only in our Pride Center, but we also have our student groups. So we have student groups like Spectrum, which is for undergraduate students. They support and build a community for LGBTQ plus students and allies. Prism, which is just the graduate portion of that. We also have our Greek Allies, which again is for the undergraduate students to promote inclusive leadership and then foster a welcoming environment for our Greek communities, because we do have about 30 to 35% of our students that do partake in Pan-Hellenic cultural or academic Greek life on campus. We have our Athlete Allies, or what we call TIDE, which again is for undergraduate students and to promote respect for all within not only our Division I athletics teams, but also for our club and intramural sports. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word just now. And then we have SPEAK, which stands for Students Promoting Equality, Awareness, and Knowledge. So this is a student group that provides gender and sexuality peer education in a group setting, not only for students, but also for faculty and staff on our campus. And then brand new this year, that is not even on our website yet, we just got the chapter resource from the National Organization of Out in STEM. So it is going to be for students who are part of the LGBTQ plus community that are in any and all of our STEM majors at Lehigh. We also have a variety of support groups on our campus. So the biggest difference between our student groups and the support groups is that support groups are not run by faculty or staff. They don't have a faculty or staff advisor. It is solely for students, and it is a safe and closed space for students only. So we have the QTPOC, which is the Queer and Trans People of Color support group. We have our TGNC, which is the Trans and Gender Nonconforming support group. We have our Coming Out support space support group, and then our BPFQ, which is Bi, Pan, Fluid, and Queer support group as well. We do have a variety of housing options as well. So we have gender inclusive housing, we have gender inclusive restrooms, as well as Mentor Collective for our transgender students as well. And then this is just a picture of our Pride Center, just so you can see where all of our students will typically hang out during the day. They also run our LU Ally program, which is a skills-based educational opportunity for the Lehigh community, as well as holding our Pride-a-Palooza month, which is happening this month, and we're super excited about it, and it's happening all virtual. But that is kind of it for my presentation.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our presenters for sharing your institutions with us. We do have a few minutes remaining, so certainly if you have any questions about any of these institutions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A, and we'd be happy to answer them. But we will at this time bring all of our presenters back for a little quick Q&A in the time we have remaining. And in the order of our initial presentations, I think one thing that a number of students would be interested in hearing is what kind of a unique campus event or program or something specific to LGBTQ students. Many of you covered them in your presentations, but what's one you would specifically choose to highlight for them?
I think I'm up first. We have an amazing diversity center on campus, and inside that diversity center is an awesome room dedicated to the LGBTQ community where the Alliance Foundation meets, that is also completely student run with current student advisors. So it is just kind of a welcoming, really nice space that has a separate room for meditation and just some time to kind of relax and be with yourself if you want to, but also hang out with others if that's what you're needing in that time as well. So it is just a really nice space to take advantage of on campus.
So actually part of what my work was with the LGBTQ club that we have on our campus was to set up a safe space. Unfortunately, COVID has put a kind of a dent in that plan right now. But it is something that the club, Marvin and Tyrone, who were with me earlier, as well as myself, have been working with the president of the college to get that space on campus. It's still in the works. So hopefully for next fall, that'll be on campus. I can't tell an exact location just because right now it's my office. So a lot of our students, as I'm the advisor for the LGBTQ club, a lot of the students will just kind of show up in my office, sit down and talk. And so right now I'd say my office, but there will be a designated space where students can go without my interference on campus for next fall.
At Simmons, I can't think of a specific event, but one thing that I am the most proud of, so our Multicultural Center, which houses all of our affinity orgs, does a training at the beginning of every year for all student leaders to ensure that we have utilized our values of diversity, equity, and inclusion in planning events. So I think that there's not necessarily a specific event that stands out to me, because all of our events make sure that we encompass all members of our community and that our community is educated enough to create inclusive and safe spaces for everyone. And then another thing that I'm really proud of is actually we are currently editing our trans and non-binary inclusion statement in our admission policy, and we're utilizing the ideas and the input and the knowledge of our trans and non-binary collective. They're actually helping to write that. So we really value student voice at Simmons. I want to make sure all of our students feel heard and valued, which is my favorite part.
So one of my favorite events at the University of Alabama happens right after move-in and before classes start. It's called Freshman Week of Welcome, and a big event that's part of that is our Get On Board Day. Get On Board Day is a showcase of the 600 plus student organizations that we have on campus, and that includes 6 distinct LGBTQ plus organizations. The first is STEM, which is an organization for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics students. We also have a Out for Business, which is through our Culver House College of Business. And this is an organization designed to help students with diversity related initiatives and also finding supportive employers. We also have our Canterbury Student Forum, which is an Episcopalian Christian-based religious group. We also have the University of Alabama National Lawyers Guild chapters, which is really designed to help students unite with lawyers and the legal system. We also have Spectrum, which is our student advocacy group on campus. And then we also have Outlaw, which is a forum to ally our LGBTQ plus students with our University of Alabama law community.
So something at Cedar Crest that we're all very excited about is not an event specifically, but we just got a brand new director of our diversity and inclusion portion of campus. So we've been welcoming him, and he's been actually revamping a lot of our policies, changing things on our campus in a positive way, having more events to be more inclusive just across the board in general. And I think our students have really liked to see the increase of LGBTQ plus related events on campus, and just knowing that the environment is so supportive of whoever you want to be and whoever you are, that we have faculty, staff, and now, a specific director for that department who wants to support our students.
At Lehigh, one of my favorite events is actually during Pride-a-Palooza, again, which is all throughout April. But if we were on campus, we would be hosting a carnival-like night. So we have balloons of all different colors and just a variety of different events that typically happen that night. We have everything from poetry slams all the way down to like carnival games that we bring in for the night. But it really encompasses everybody and really shows how much our community supports one another.
Great. Thank you all for sharing your institutions with us, as well as those events and initiatives that are taking place on your campus. And thank you to all of our viewers for joining us this evening and learning a little bit more about all of these institutions. At the conclusion of this webinar, there will be a link to a quick 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, just a reminder that this was one of many sessions being hosted as part of the LGBTQ plus college fair, so be sure to sign up for additional ones at strivescan.com/LGBTQ, which is also where recordings of this session and all others will be posted in about a week's time. Thanks so much and have a great night.